Welcome to the ninth seminar for English teaching professionals entitled Spice It Up, Innovative Activities for Your Class. Today we have the honor of hosting Lilia Saurio and Rosaura Gomez, distinguished educators who recently led an insightful workshop titled Designing Authentic Tasks for Young Learners, Enhancing Writing and Speaking in the Primary Classroom. In this interview, we will summarize the key points from their session and discuss the importance of using music and pictures to design adaptable tasks that target the productive skills of writing and speaking. Before we get into the actual interview, I want to share some biographical information about our presenters. I'll start with Rosaura. Rosaura Gomez Rodriguez is an experienced English educator and instructional designer with over 2 decades of experience in language teaching and educational technology. She holds a master's degree in education technology and a bachelor's in English teaching. Rosaura has served as a university English teacher, ed tech department head, and currently works as a senior instructional designer specializing in global learning solutions and content development. Her expertise spans curriculum design, e learning development, and teacher training, with a strong focus on learner centered methodologies. Rosaura is passionate about creating authentic, engaging learning experiences that foster real world communication skills in young learners. Lilia Saurio Corrales is an educator and language specialist with 19 years of experience in teaching English and Spanish. She holds a master's in English language teaching from Universidad de Costa Rica and a master's in educational administration from Universidad Castro Carazo, where she also earned two licentiate degrees. Her academic background includes a bachelor's in English from Universidad de Costa Rica and a technical diploma in teaching Spanish as a second language from Instituto Tecnológico de Costa Rica. Professor Saurio has taught at the primary, secondary, and university levels, working in both public and private institutions such as Universidad de Costa Rica, Universidad Estatal de Distancia, Universidad Latina, Universidad Castro Carazo, and Universidad Latinoamericana de Ciencia y Tecnología. She has also led TOEIC and TOEFL preparation courses at Centro Cultural Costarricense Norteamericano and has participated in national and international conferences, sharing her expertise in language education, literature, and bilingual teaching. Her professional development includes certifications like the Teaching Knowledge Test, TKT, and the TOEFL IBT workshop. We will now get into the questions we have for both of you to learn just a little bit more through this brief interview. So, my first question that I have for you is what motivated you to focus on authentic tasks that can be developed with young learners in Costa Rica?
Well, I would like to begin. Well, first of all, thank you so much for this invitation to participate in the seminar. I'm very honored and grateful to be here to be able to share some of the experiences that I have had as a teacher. And then, of course, this is an important topic. Authentic activities, materials, tasks are what we do every day. And it's basically the most meaningful type of learning there can be. And what better way to do it than with language? If we teach using authentic tasks, it's the most similar to reality environment that we can provide. And it will be part of the language tasks that learners will perform once they are out there in the real world.
Mhm. So, could you share an example of how music and or images have been effectively used to design an authentic task for young language learners?
Sure. When we got together to uh, analyze the topic and what we wanted to share with the participants, we thought about children, specifically in primary school, And we thought about all this rich cultural background and natural curiosity that they can bring to the classroom. So if we can play a song, a piece of classical music to the students, and then after that, we can have our students more engaged in the classroom and ask them to share their emotions, share a short story, think about an image that they could think of when they were listening to the song. Then we are reflecting uh, our students' interests, and that's what we want, that they feel that they can work on their creativity, and that after listening to the piece of music or after showing just a picture of a local market in Costa Rica, we can spark conversation, we can spark role plays, or even writing tasks. So they pretend they are part of that situation they are just looking at.
Thank you for sharing both of those answers. So that brings me to the third question. Because you're talking about using this in the classroom, and we have obviously teachers, some with more experience, some with less experience, right? What challenges do teachers typically face when trying to align authentic tasks with the MEP curriculum? And how did your workshop help address those challenges?
Thank you. We consider that one common challenge is the perception that authentic tasks may not align with the specific indicators and objectives in the MEP curriculum. Most of the times, teachers struggle with time constraints and lack of resources, but in the workshop, we worked on identifying clear links between the curriculum goals and the skills developed through authentic tasks. In the workshop, we also explored practical strategies for adapting these existing tasks and using locally available materials creatively. So hopefully, they will put that into practice pretty soon.
In your view, how can authentic tasks support not only language development, but also motivation and engagement in young students?
Okay, I think I can answer that. From my point of view and experience, it's very motivating when, especially here in our country, Costa Rica, where we are constantly faced with tourists from all over the world that speak in English, for example, to communicate, for the students to be able, first of all, to understand some of those words or conversations that are happening around them. It's the first benefit and motivation that they get to be able to understand. And now let's imagine how much potential that motivation has when they are able to communicate themselves in another language, in this case, English. So that I would say is the very first um, benefit, the motivation they get. And also, we know that our students in elementary school, even high school, they are also exposed to a lot of authentic material in English from the movies, songs, famous songs that they listen to, maybe a music band that's their favorite. So to be able to understand those texts, or be it an image, something they see on the newspaper or on internet, that they are able to interact with, it's a great way to also talk to their context, to their environment, and to what they like, dislike, and to give them a space within society, and that is surrounded by this other language.
Well, that brings us to our last question. What kind of impact do you hope your workshop had on teachers' confidence and creativity in designing productive and communicative tasks?
Sure. We hope the workshop really empowered teachers to trust their instincts and their creativity. Sometimes we underestimate the value of simple, meaningful tasks. And our goal was to show that with a clear purpose and a bit of imagination, any teacher can create opportunities for students to use English in real ways. Ideally, teachers walk away feeling more confident about adapting the curriculum and more inspired to try new approaches in their classrooms.
Yeah, I would say inspiration is the most expected outcome from the workshop. Um, we tend to work with a lot of different um, lines, be it administrative and also classroom management, and then grading. So as teachers, we could get lost sometimes, and we may need a little bit of inspiration to create something innovative, something that really calls the attention of the students, that it engages them. So that would be my most expected outcome to inspire, to have had inspired the teachers to know also that they don't have to do great things, or it doesn't, we all of us can create authentic tasks, and we have a lot of authentic materials that we can leverage in our classrooms. And one material, we could use it even with different levels for different objectives. And that's something we also addressed in the workshop. And I really hope that it comes in handy when they are planning their future lessons.
Most definitely. Well, I want to thank both you, Rosaura, and Lilia for sharing your insights on designing authentic tasks to enhance writing and speaking in the classroom. Your expertise has encouraged us as teachers to put our own creativity into action to design these types of tasks for our language classrooms. And for more information on the topics covered in this seminar, please visit our website. The details are available on the screen.